All right, all right. Hit that like button as you come in. Let me know you're ready to roll. I'm gonna give it a few minutes just to allow some people to come into the live stream. Remember to be active in the comment section. Whatever questions you have, feel free to post them. We're gonna talk about several things today. We're gonna talk about, should boxing come back? Since UFC is making a comeback with UFC 250 in the state of Florida, I think the governor has stated that it was an essential. But let's just wait a few minutes here. More people to come in. Usually they take a while. Well, out of respect for those of you that are already here on time, I'm just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go ahead and start this live stream. Remember, part of carrying on this live stream is interacting with you guys. So once again, whatever questions you guys have, whatever topic you want to touch on, feel free to drop it in the comment section. Always remembering that there's a delay. When you post your comment, I won't see them automatically. It's going to take a little bit for me to see them, and then it's going to take a little bit for you to see the response. But anyways, boxing, boxing. The beautiful sport of boxing. I don't know about you guys, but I miss it already. I miss pretty much sports in general. Really, I'm a big soccer fan as well, and we don't even have that. But thanks to the state of Florida, there's a good chance we might be having some sport coming up next month with UFC 250. So the question here is, should boxing try to take advantage of what Florida's doing and schedule a venue down there? You know, you guys got to remember that a lot of people in quarantine right now, they're not dealing with it psychologically really well. So you never know, you know. At the end of the day, if UFC is doing it, if WWE is doing it, I don't see why boxing couldn't do it. We're going to go over some interview. We're going to listen to some interview that Deontay Wilder gave to, I believe, was PBC Radio or something like that. We're going to go over the things he said. I have not listened to the interview in detail yet. Some bits and pieces here, and there's subject matters to talk about here. I don't understand why he did this. At least a little bit that I listened. So that's why I want to listen to the whole interview. I want to listen to it with you guys so that I can get pretty much an accurate understanding of what he's trying to say. You know, we're going to go over some fights that I think should happen next year. Some fighters that are avoiding other fighters. And honestly speaking, when boxing comes back, we need to not be dealing with any of this ducking game that's going on. For what I understand, Haney's fight fell through after Bab Arum said, "Hey, this fight is a go." You know, Haney attacked this promoter on Twitter, and the promoter came back and said, "Hey, listen, me and your promoter thought that this offer was good, and you was the one that turned it down." So apparently, there's a lot of things under the table there that we need to discuss. And as we keep talking here, we'll allow a few people to come in and see. Just give it a few more minutes so we can go into it in detail. COVID-19, man, I got to tell you, while people come in, COVID-19, I've been going around the country, okay? In the last month, I've been in Florida. The last month, I've been in Texas, been in Louisiana, been in Mississippi. I've been in Arkansas, Colorado, Salt Lake City, Utah. Been in Missouri. I've been West Virginia. This morning I was in Chicago, and let me tell you, I have never experienced anything like this. Seeing the roads with literally no traffic. I mean, this kind of traffic we're seeing today, that's kind of like what you used to see back in the 90s. So it's pretty weird to see just everything close, you know? So, and we're trying to do the best we can in quarantine, you know? It's kind of crazy, but that's just the truth. So we'll give it a few more minutes here, and then we'll go straight into the interview that Deontay Wilder gave. And we're going to break that interview down, give our thoughts. I want you to be active on the comments section. Give me your thoughts, and let's get this bus rolling down the hill without brakes. Let it pick up speed, and let's hope that it doesn't crash. Right at 37, we'll start. How's that? One more minute. For those of you that are in here right now, I just want to thank you for tuning in. And I know a lot of people, I mean, I didn't schedule this live stream I only scheduled it for like less than an hour. So I'm not expecting a lot of people to drop in. I mean, we'd be lucky to hit 5 people really, but I don't do this for the views. I don't do this for the quantity. Right now, I do it first for the passion of the sport. Second, for the passion of doing videos and sharing my opinion. And then, why not? Views never hurt. Why not? So feel free to copy the link for this live and share it on your Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want. All right, man. Let's get into this interview that we're both going to listen together. Now, you know how I've been feeling about this Deontay Wilder case. Deontay Wilder is one of the fighters that has caused the most controversy in the last, 2 months. He lost for the first time, and really and truly, well, for the first time officially, but to me, he lost the first fight versus Fury as well, but officially for the first time. And man, immediately, the loads and loads of excuses started coming out. And not so much from Deontay Wilder, even though that one of his excuse was extremely ridiculous, which was the ones with the suit. I got this heavy suit and it messed up my legs, therefore I could not fight. Because, he was the same guy that, like I said on my previous video or 2 videos ago, he was the same guy that on an interview, he said that he trains with a 45-pound vest all the time. If he's running, he's got it on. So if he's doing whatever he's doing, he's got it on. So for you to say that on fight night, you just were damaged by this suit, I didn't buy it. But I guess the worst excuses that came out on his behalf didn't even come from him. That's why I have a lot of respect for him, because he did not partake of this ridiculous excuse. He pretty much stayed silent until a few days ago. And that's when things started changing. So let's go ahead and listen to it, and listen to it very carefully. And we're going to pause. We're going to break the interview down. We're going to give our thoughts. Not only me, I want you to give your thoughts on it. Let me get this straight here. Let me know if y'all can hear the interview or not. It's not coming through, huh?
People I know, that family and family members have gotten it and in the hospitals and stuff. So I mean, this is very serious. This is a time it's crazy times. But my family is doing great.
That's good to hear. Now, are you in Alabama right now?
Yes, I'm in Alabama.
Let's fast forward a little bit.
Came back down here. I got to do to keep yourself. Different things that I love and enjoy. The scenery, and I'm a type of person that I'm a homebody. I'm a homebody at heart. I'm always at home, no matter what home that I'm in or what state. I'm always at home, and so during these times, this is me and my assistant. Me and my brothers. We always talk, and we were like, a lot of people are sitting at their board and going crazy during this time. But these times, I mean, this is what we do all the time. And like I said, man, there's nothing I can complain about at this moment in time. I know we all in the world is going through something together.
He's preaching, so I'm just going to forward it a little bit.
When I took off my mask and the things that I was doing, it's a lot of things that I don't even want to talk about at this moment in time. I'm still reflecting on certain things, and I can't believe the things that happened. It happened to me, and it happened to me at that point in time in my career. Maybe I'll come out with some things later on, as things unfold, as I get into camp and stuff like that. For certain things, I don't want to talk about at this moment in time. I'm still reflecting on it and trying to figure some things out.
Okay, let's pause that for a minute. This is understandable, right? His ego has been touched. His pride has been touched. His record has been damaged. They took that O away. I know he had mentioned previously he wanted to break Floyd's record, but now that's not going to happen. And he is saying, from what I'm understanding, there's a lot of things I don't even want to talk about previous to the fight. To me, I'm not going to say that's a lie, but I am going to say it sounds like a bit of excuses. Let's continue listening.
You're referring to tactical things. I'm wondering, like, after the opening bell sounded, were there things you're saying to yourself now, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or I should have done this, that kind of thing?
No, not at all. Even with the first of the bell, the thing about it that it's easy to understand, what type of person Deontay Wilder was in that moment in time. Even when I took off my mask and the things that I was doing, I've been in this sport for a very long time. People have seen me fight, all over the world for a very long time. So people automatically knows, how I am and, how I should look. And people that know boxing know that wasn't Deontay Wilder that night. I was a zombie that night. It was something, like I said, I can't talk about a lot of things, but.
Wait a minute. Okay, so usually when you don't want to talk about a subject, you don't give bits and pieces on the outside. So what I think is going on here is, I think he's trying to. These are ambiguous messages. I think he's trying to create some sort of doubt. But let's continue listening.
It wasn't Deontay Wilder tonight. You can tell from the mask, from my reaction to certain things that I was doing in the ring. From the first fight into the second fight, and you said it was two different people. That night, from a guy that from the first start of the bell was in retrieve mode.
Okay, so hold on. I don't see what the mask has anything to do with the way he performed that night. He's saying that he wasn't the same guy that day, that he took off the mask, that it was a different person in there, that it wasn't him. I'm not connecting the masks to the way he performed that night. I think that's a bit of an excuse, but let's continue listening. Maybe I'm just over-exaggerating.
To the first fight, when the first started, a guy was on the hunt. You don't go backwards. You go forward. And that night, I wasn't myself. I felt like a zombie in there. I felt There's a lot of things I can't say. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things I'm just sitting back, and but we only can get stronger. Learn from a lot of situations.
That's
learn
right.
From this situation, get better and better. It's not over. You know, in my eyes, I don't see Fury as a champion. It's still going. You know, he ain't the champion yet. We still got one more fight.
Hold on. Hold on. Did this man just said that he what? What? He said he doesn't see Fury as a champion? What kind of mentality is he holding? The last I checked, Fury is the one that broke his record. Fury is the one that went in there and gave him a lesson. Fury is the one that went in there and stole his soul. I don't believe none of this mask stuff. I don't believe that the uniform preventing you from acting in a certain way. I don't believe there was things that happened before the fight that preventing you from acting in the same way. However, what I do believe, what I seen, was that Fury defeated Deontay Wilder throughout the build-up of the fight, throughout the press conferences, psychologically. I said it. You can go back and watch it. Deontay Wilder was psychologically a defeated fighter when he went into that ring. He was bothered. See, throughout the whole entire build-up of the fight, all of the press conferences, Deontay Wilder's used to striking fear in his opponents. Usually his opponents are very respectful and they're like, quiet or whatever. And Fury is totally the opposite. Fury is the one in his face calling him a bum, calling him a pencil leg. Fury is the one telling him, I beat you the first time. Fury is the one that's saying, hold on. If I don't beat Deontay Wilder, I'm a bum. Now, you gotta take that into consideration, that a fighter like Deontay Wilder that's used to just looking at his opponent and striking fear in them. A fighter like Deontay Wilder that's used to going through press conferences, doing the talking and the entertaining himself because his opponents are fearful enough to not talk as much, right? A fighter that's used to doing that, now he's getting the same taste of that medicine back. Not only did he got it the first time, but he's getting it the second time, right? That's going to cause some sort of change in Deontay Wilder. And throughout that whole press conference, he was being bullied psychologically by Fury. Psychologically by Fury. Calling him bum, pencil leg. You know, you can't even box. You don't have a jab. I took your best shots. You know, you say you was going to baptize me and get me out of there, but you got to. That's the kind of fighter that Deontay Wilder fought that night. So let's continue listening because, this is getting a little interesting and I'm not liking what I'm hearing. If you have anything on this, feel free to drop it in the comment section.
And at the end of the day, I'm happy. My family's happy. I'm recovering.
Well, I'm glad.
I'm looking forward to giving the world the best of Deontay Wilder.
You sort of answered my next question. After the fact, how difficult was it to put the loss behind you and turn the page? It sounds like you did that pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to understand that, in life comes many ways. In life, many people lose more than they win. And the thing about losing, some people don't know how to bounce back off a loss in life.
True. He says something that's very true. A lot of people in life, they lose a lot more than they win. Now, a fighter like Deontay Wilder, it's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back. So I'm glad that he's focused on, on bouncing back in a better way. So let's continue listening.
That's why when people win all the time, people always want to see a person lose. Not so much because they win all the time, but I look at it as a point. They want to see how that person get up. How do you get off the ground from losing?
I don't agree with that. Not everybody wants to see an undefeated fighter lose for whatever reason. I'm sure there are some that want to see an undefeated fighter lose because of envy. I'm sure there's some that want to see you lose because, I don't know, you have a better record than they do or than their fighters, best fighter do. But No, don't. Let's not generalize on that.
and different things because I told people I may have lost in the ring, but I'm winning in life. You
True.
know what I'm saying? It's two different things. But I take this time and to sit back and make myself even hungrier. Sometimes you can be in a position and you can do something for so long period of time where you get used to certain things, you get comfortable with certain things. You still have that hunger.
Pause. What he just said is true. If you're a young fighter listening to this right now, what he just said is very true. When you get comfortable, when you lose that hunger, you lose fights. You lose fights. Your career start taking a plateau and then eventually down. When you lose hunger, when you get comfortable, if you're an up and coming fighter, never lose your hunger. You always gotta remain hungry. You always gotta remain hungry. Very, very few fighters get that comfortable. And you might say, oh, well, run your with Floyd Mayweather, Ain't nobody got more comfort than him. Yeah, but Floyd Mayweather never gets enough. He'll tell you, I make $330 million in 32 minutes. And the very next day, I want to make $600 million. He's got that hunger. He's got the hunger, at least for something. Maybe not to be the world champ, because, have you seen Floyd Mayweather's belt collection? He doesn't need anything else, But but he keeps the money. He keeps the hunger for the money. That's just the truth. He keeps. Ain't nobody got to tell Floyd to train. Think about that for a second. Ain't nobody got to tell that man to train. Ain't nobody got to tell that man, fix this, fix that. He is a perfectionist at his craft. Why? Because he keeps a certain hunger. Now Deontay Wilder's saying, I lost that hunger. I got comfortable. So let's continue listening.
But it ain't the same as when you first got into it, trying to get into the rankings and then trying to be a hot prospect and then go on to be to fight for a world title and then become a champion. It allowed that hunger to come back to where I started to when I gained the title. So there's been a lot of different things. I'm never down about losing because it only makes me stronger to come back.
Good.
And to
Good.
overcome and conquer. I know this is going to be the biggest moment in time in my life. Coming back around again, and boxing is amazing. I can look back and say I was a part of it that made it what it is now. So
okay, it's very interesting what he's saying. He's gonna use that hunger to come back even stronger, and let's hope that he does comes back even stronger. And I still believe he's not gonna beat Fury. But you just never know. This is Deontay Wilder with a razor, and this is boxing, right? Never say never in boxing.
So exciting, especially the heavyweight division is just booming, and I'm not done yet.
Were you surprised at how aggressive Fury was in the rematch?
No, I wasn't surprised. I couldn't really. It's hard to explain. Like the first sound of the bell is like I was more in retreat mode. It's like I wasn't even there for real. Like I don't know how to say it without. It was just I wasn't there.
Gotcha.
No, he was there. He was there. I seen him. Right? Let me tell you what's going on here. Now he's making excuses, right? Because what happens is that the minute that bell rang, Fury took a run at him, right? And the minute that he took a run at him, Fury started applying pressure, right? And Fury was able to figure out, if I just keep this man mid-range on his punches or on the outside to where I can just lean back and make him miss, he ain't going to do nothing, right? That's exactly what Fury did. Fury came in heavier. Fury kept telling him think about it. This is another thing too. When have you heard an opponent of Deontay Wilder tell him to his face, I'm knocking you out? What's good, G-Funk? Good to have you here, bro. When have you seen a Deontay Wilder opponent look at him in his face and tell him, I'm knocking you out in 2 rounds? That's what I'm saying. It wasn't just physical. This was a psychological aspect that messed with Deontay Wilder on that day. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you, this was not just physical. And the only reason that Deontay Wilder's making excuses is because he can't even figure out. He can't even figure out what caused him to lose. I can tell you what caused him to lose. A fighter that's much better than him came in to do the business. Period. Let's continue listening. You guys are awful quiet. If you got anything to say, drop it in the comment section.
That's all I can tell you. I wasn't there from the first start.
Yeah, you was.
You know, my whole body, everything. You know, but it's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right.
Good.
Trust me. You know, and I'm just looking forward to coming back in there and doing what I gotta do. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to feel like I'm making any excuses.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay. He said he don't want to feel like he's making excuses. But that's all he's been doing so far. I wasn't there. There's a lot of things I don't want to talk about. It wasn't me. My mask. The build up to the fight. Man, that is excuses if you ask me. But let's continue, man. Remember one thing. A fighter, when they lose their O, they're gonna make excuses. That doesn't make them any lesser of a man, any lesser of a fighter. That is the natural process. The natural way to grasp the understanding that, oh, I'm no longer undefeated. Let's continue listening. You'll be live later on tonight, G.
People know that I'm happy. I'm in full health.
We'll see, bruh.
And I'm coming back stronger than ever.
The third fight with Fury has been pushed back, you said, toward the end of the year. Do you think that extra time helps you to prepare?
Awesome.
Yeah, it helps me to rest as well. I was going back to back and fighting, kill after kill after kill.
That's true. That's true. He fought Fury, then he fought Ortiz, then he fought. Yeah, I think he was fighting like every 2.5 months or every 3 months. So that right there is not an excuse. That's a fact. That's a fact right there.
I don't think it was anyone that was on the course that I was fighting.
G-Funk, we're gonna get to that. That's a very good question, bro.
So I'm gonna take this time, and it's been good though. I'm gonna take the time. I am taking the time. Just sit back and enjoy family and rest. I got
That's good.
Opportunity to really just enjoy my kids. Like I said, I just been going and stop. I get in camp. I'm out 3 months.
Anthony, we're gonna get into that. I thought it was G-Funk. I'm sorry. That's a good fight. We're gonna talk about it.
And then by the time you get back home, by the time you get back in the camp, now you got to get away from your kids. So at this point in time, I'm just loving the space. I'm just loving the unity that I'm having with my kids and just watching the babies grow and just loving on all of them.
Psychological food right there. That's real good.
It's time to separate myself from them again. And then Daddy had to go to work.
Hit that like button.
The surgery earlier. I'm assuming that you also to recover from that. Have you been given a date when you'll be able to resume working out?
Hold on. Surgery? Let's keep listening.
Sometime at the end of May, sometime at the middle to end of May, I'll be able to get back to working out, sparring, different things of that nature.
Deontay, a lot of trainers have been offering you advice through the media. Have you considered adding any extra voices to your team or listening to what those guys have been saying?
Yeah, we've been having a lot of people reach out.
For sure, G-Funk. If I don't extend this for long, dude. Hold on, let me pause this. If I don't extend this for long, I'm gonna support you for a fact. That ain't no question. So, I've been out of YouTube for a little bit this past weekend because I've been going from places to places. But as soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna go check you out for a fact if it ain't too long. I gotta get up like at 3 a.m, so I'm gonna try to wrap this thing up real soon after I'm done, touching on some subjects and if I'm not too tired, homie, I'm checking you out.
They just want publicity.
Yeah.
They want to be able to say they was the name that they was the name that came in and stuff like that, and just look at it as just a different way. That's how I'm looking at it, and that's how I know boxing. Boxing is very crooked. It's a dirty business.
Okay. He just said boxing is a very dirty business, and he's been talking about the trainers that have been offering him, a hand. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm glad he's being careful when it comes to this, because I saw an interview by Michael Moore, and in that interview, he explained the reason why boxers are broke. Most boxers are broke. It doesn't matter how many millions they've made in the past. Boxers, most of them, are broke, and here's why. When you make $10 million, your manager is going to take 33.3% of that $10 million. Keep in mind, that man did not throw a punch, nor did he receive the punch, right? 33.3% of that $10 million goes to your manager. Then your trainer is going to take a minimum of 10%, which he deserves a 10%. That's a reasonable amount, right? Now you don't have $10 million. Now you're down to like 5, almost 6. Because remember, 33.3 plus 10% of so after that, you got to pay taxes. Now, usually you're to be close to 50% of what you're making because you are that 1% now. So you quickly went from $10 million down to 3, right? Down to $3 million. And if you're not very educated with your money, your promoter is going to take his chunk as well. Your promoter is going to take a really good chunk of that money. So now you no longer have $10 million. You don't. You don't even have $5 million. You don't even have $4 million. Now you're like, great, I got $4 million. Here comes the man in the red, white, and blue. Uncle Sam, give me my money. And you quickly went from $10 million to like $2.1 million, right? And if you're not very educated with your money, you got nothing. Why do y'all think Floyd Mayweather is so rich? Because Floyd Mayweather is his own manager. Floyd Mayweather is his own promoter. Floyd Mayweather is his own everything. The only thing Floyd Mayweather isn't is his own trainer. But everything stays in the pocket. Everything. So I'm kind of glad that Deontay Wilder's being a bit smart when it comes to, receiving or accepting offers, from a bunch of trainers trying to, in my opinion, to be honest with you, Deontay Wilder got a great trainer, man. Mark Rillen is a good trainer. He is an experienced fighter, a very technical fighter. If you go back and look at his fights when he was actively fighting, this man was a beast at a welterweight. A beast. Outboxing people from the out. A beast. So I never understood the reason why Deontay Wilder was not being trained on keeping fighters at the end of his punches. On keeping that jab as the key to open every single door you want to go through. Slapping that jab, flicking the jab, bringing that shot midway and just boom, he's got enough power. He doesn't have to rack that hand all the way to the back. Every time you're fighting and you do this, you're sending a text to your opponent. Hey, in about 3 seconds, I'm about to shoot a right hand. He gets the text and he prepares. You're telegraphing the shot. It takes too long for you to, from beginning to end, right? And against a fighter like Fury, who is a slickster, who is a technician, who is a very defensive fighter, that ain't going to work all the time. It's not going to work. In my opinion, he's got a good trainer. I'm going to leave the interview right there because it's very long and I'm not liking what I'm hearing. Anthony Gonzalez asked me, Teofimo versus Lomachenko. Teofimo have shown that he's got power, both hands. Teofimo is not just a puncher. Teofimo can fight. Teofimo can box. He may not be a slickster. But Teofimo, one thing I like about Teofimo is he knows how to set traps. Oops. When you got power and you know how to set traps and you know how to time your opponent and you know how to stay within that mid-range to the end of your punches, and when you come in, you know how to bend those arms and snap them at a short range like he does, this is a fighter that's maintaining power at all three of the distances in which he fights. He keeps the power on the inside, he keeps the power at the mid-range, and you already know if you have power, you don't have to implement it at the end of the punches. It's just there naturally, right? But then you got another issue. Has he ever fought somebody like Lomachenko? Because Lomachenko may not be, how can I say this, the greatest thing we've ever seen, but Lomachenko is a heck of a fighter. Lomachenko has very weird movements, throws punches in angles, keeps his head moving the whole entire time. Lomachenko, ever since he lost versus Salido, he learned what to do in there. He learned what. Now, he's not the type of fighter that's, untouchable. Linares dropped him. Salido beat him. Right? So what do I think about that fight? I think that's one of the fights that boxing needs. Who's going to win that fight? It really all depends, to be honest with you. Because boxing, okay, here's the deal. If Linares was able to drop him with a pretty decent timed shot, Teofimo is a lot better than Linares when it comes to timing. Look at his timing. Linares doesn't set traps. Teofimo does. Teofimo does. Right? Lomachenko sets traps as well. But Lomachenko is more of the type of fighter that, he wants you to come. Typical, he wants you to come to him so that he can counterpunch you. And if you don't counterpunch, he's going to try to strike a little bit of fear with all of them weird movement. And as he's moving, he's punching. Boom, boom. Short shots until he gets the opening. Boom, to drop the strong shots. Right? But look at something on Lomachenko. Lomachenko, when he moves his upper body, it's not just his upper body. Every upper body movement that he does most of the time is complemented downstairs as well. His feet are moving shortly to compensate that torso moving side to side, up and back, right? To position to where he can, as he moves, he can counterpunch if he sees an opening. Now that right there is very good, and not every fighter possesses that nowadays. So this is a very intriguing fight, but nevertheless, to be honest with you, I can't wait. I think does Teofimo has a chance? Absolutely. He has a puncher's chance. He can box a little bit. Like I say, he can set traps. He knows how to time you. He knows how to fight all three distances. He knows how to keep the power, implement the power, all three distances. So what do I think about that fight? I think boxing needs this type of fight. I think boxing needs this type of fighters. I'm so sick and tired of seeing, people fighting Uber drivers. Elite fighters fighting Uber drivers. And then putting a belt around their waist talking about, I'm the best in the world. No, you're not. You just fought the guy that dropped me off from work. I'm tired of seeing that type of fight. This is the kind of fight I want to see. Top guys versus top guys. The heavyweight division has been delivering that for the past year and a half or two. I don't see any reasons why the rest of the divisions can deliver the same thing. But at the end of the day, I've always told you guys, it's up to you, the fan. Because one thing that heats me up a lot is when I see a crappy pay-per-view, a fighter that you already know is going to demolish the other one, and you go running and buy the pay-per-view. Right? Until the fighter demands, until the fans demands good fights, we're never going to get constant back-to-back good fights. I don't care if the levels is not the same as the 90s, early 2000s, late 80s, there are good fights out there. G-Funk, he likes Lopez. I like Lopez too, to be honest with you. I like Lopez too. And the thing about Lopez, you remember, Deontay Wilder was just talking about that hunger. Lomachenko ain't hungry. He's not hungry. He got a chip on that shoulder. You got to think about this for a minute. This is a man that in his country, he's idolized for having 2 Olympic gold medals. He's idolized for not losing as an amateur or losing only 1 fight as an amateur. And yeah, I already know what you're going to say. He fought a bunch of little kids. I get it. Maybe. I don't know. But mentally, he's an idol in his country. He knows that. It's in here. It's in his head. And then he gets here. He gets a millionaire cash day when he signs with Bob Arum, right? He does. He walks around knowing that he is top 10 pound per pound, right? Guess who doesn't have that? Guess who doesn't have 2 Olympic gold medals? Guess who isn't idolized as a god, really, in his country? It's Teofimo. Guess who doesn't make the money Lomachenko makes? It's Teofimo. Guess who doesn't have the status Lomachenko has? It's Teofimo. So the question we got to ascertain is Teofimo Lopez going to implement that hunger the correct way? Especially now through COVID. Is he sitting down? What is he doing? Think about that for a minute. I like Lopez as well. Saif Baig. Yo, what's up, man? What's up? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Another fight I want to see. I'm sick and tired of seeing fighters, ducking Terrence Crawford. I don't see why Terrence Crawford is not having good fights. You know, people complain, well, Terrence Crawford ain't fighting nobody. Well, how can you fight somebody when nobody wants to fight you? You got to take the best dishwasher they give you. You have to. Just to remain active. Just to remain relevant. Just to keep your name hot on the grill. Right? I don't understand why we're not getting Danny Garcia versus Crawford. Keith Thurman versus Crawford. Spence versus Crawford. Pacquiao versus Crawford. Listen to all those names that could potentially give us electrifying fights, right? Pacquiao versus Crawford, right? And why not your Denis Ugas versus Crawford? Now you might say Ugas is nothing. Yeah, he is. Remember, the only reason he ain't champion right now is because they gave the fight to your boy Porter. Your Denis Ugas beat Porter, and they gave it to Porter. Your Denis Ugas is the man that defeated Terrence Crawford. Very easy as an amateur. Very easy. Just boom, boom, very easy. So my thing is, hey, if we already fought as an amateur, why can't we make the fight happen as a professional? I think that you as a fan, if you do boxing videos, that is a fight you can make a video about. That is a fight that you can start demanding because that is a fight that makes sense. Now, a lot of people have made campaigns to diminish the credibility of Ugas. Oh, he's boring. Okay. What does he do? He moves up in weight. He changes training. He changes his style. He's no longer a boxer. Now he's a fighter. He comes in. He's knocking everybody down and out. He took like 3 or 4 undefeated records. He's boring. He fights a top fighter like Sean Porter, beats him. He's boring. It sounds to me like you just don't want this man to beat your fighter. Therefore, you're going to do the exact same thing that a lot of boxing fans, a lot of casual fans do these days. Let's just talk bad about him to drop his credibility. But that to me is a fight that makes sense. Ugas versus Crawford. That fight makes sense to me. You know, I would like to see Spence versus Crawford, but obviously that's probably going to happen next year, specifically because I don't think Spence is going to come back and fight Crawford right after his accident. I don't think so. It's it would make sense. I don't think he would get all the credit he would truly deserve if he was to beat Spence after coming out of a severe car accident, where the boys is lucky to be walking alive today, to be honest with you. Let's get into this thing. Floyd Mayweather has been announcing that he's going to become a trainer now. Floyd Mayweather, it's interesting. 2020 is interesting for Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather, in less than 2 weeks, actually in less than a month, he loses his baby mama, who he was very close to. He loses his trainer, his uncle, his mentor, the guy that was there when his father was locked up, the guy that turned him into an offensive fighter, because with his father, he was more defensive. But Roger really came in and added the offensive tool that Floyd Mayweather needed. So he loses those two people, and now he can potentially lose his daughter forever because his daughter's looking at a 99-year sentence. Now, I don't particularly think she's going to hit 99 years because Floyd Mayweather got money to put one of them attorneys, kind of like, the type of attorneys you and I can never afford. But she going to at least do 5 or 6 years in there because she stabbed some girl in Texas, out of all places, in Texas, where the law don't care. They don't play. Texas don't play around. Right? So Floyd Mayweather goes through all of this, and then he gets hit with coronavirus that forces him. The quarantine, I mean, he didn't get the coronavirus himself. I'm saying the quarantine forces him to stop taking those flights to the exotic places. Now he's locked up at home. And I guess while he's locked up, a man thinks a lot, right? And he says, I want to get back. I want to give back to boxing. I'm going to become a trainer. What surprises me the most is that Floyd Mayweather is known for being a little cocky, a little overconfident, but now he's talking very humble. He actually said, I'm not working with anybody with experience because I don't have any. I'm working with people that have no experience, and together we're going to grow. That's very humble. And then he says, he promised us that he's going to be one of the best trainers in the world. Let's hope that happens. It'd be kind of interesting to see Floyd Mayweather work in the corner at a pay-per-view fight. It'll be very interesting because a lot of people are going to buy the pay-per-view probably not just to watch his fighter, but just to see how he does as a trainer in big events. But, you never know. Floyd Mayweather, you can't count them out. Usually, to be honest with you, the worst fighters are the best trainers. And the best fighters are crap as trainers. Because they try to implement who they were in their fighters. And it doesn't always work like that. Right? So it's just a matter of time. Let's give it some time and let's see what happens, to be honest with you. It's right now, like I said, with this quarantine issue, I don't think we're going to see anything from boxing unless they make the decision to do what the UFC's doing. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. What the UFC's doing. They're gonna shoot UFC 250 in Florida next month. The governor said that it's an essential. So I don't understand why promoters are not jumping at this, to be honest with you. They should be jumping at this because people need boxing. People need boxing. People need sports. It's sad, right? Because sports shouldn't be our gods or nothing like that. But for entertainment, people need something. Not everybody knows how to deal with quarantine. So let's see if any promoter in boxing decides to really to jump in this wagon and use Florida as a venue to make a good, strong comeback for the sport of boxing, really. Let's see what else here. G-Funk. Good stuff, bro. Thanks, man. We're we're trying. I mean, like I said, I did not schedule this life for long, so I wasn't gonna expect a lot of people in here. But what we got, we work with what we got. And so if y'all have any questions, drop them. Any topics, drop them in the comment section, and we'll go at it. We'll talk about it, and we'll push this life a little bit more before I call it quit. I think I'm gonna call it quit right at the hour mark. We're at 53 minutes right now, and so far it's been good. I mean, we're talking some boxing. By the way, if by any chance you're one of the guys that believe the Glovegate conspiracy of Tyson Fury, don't. My last video, which I advise for you to go look at, and I'll probably post a card. If not, just go look at it. What I did is I went frame by frame. I slowed the fights. I slowed the punches. I pasted them together and made a compilation of the fight. There was no Glovegate in that second fight. Matter of fact, Sean Porter, interesting. I saw an interview by Sean Porter who said, look, I've seen Tyson Fury. His fingers are so long that he cannot put a glove in the normal way because it wouldn't fit. He has to clench his fist and push it all the way into the glove. And that's why you see the thumb loose, because the thumbs, they don't even fit in the size of gloves that are available out there. The man has giant hands, right? So what other thing can you say, you know? He also spoke about how you see when the man on his previous fights, he flickers that jab a lot. He flickers, right? So it's not that his glove is put like that on purpose. According to Sean Porter, the man can't fit a glove in the same way any other fighter can. And he gave an example of himself. He said, look, I'm a welterweight, and I can't even put my hands are too big, but I can still kind of fit my hands in there. So I don't, Glovegate conspiracy is the most ridiculous excuse that has ever been invented to excuse a fighter losing a fight. It is disgusting. To me, if I was Tyson Fury, I think I would be coming up with a civil lawsuit against every single channel that destroyed my name like that, or even try to put a stain on my name. Because that's, I don't know, but that's federal. When you say a fighter's fixing his glove like that to cause damage, that's federal. In the same way that if a fighter hits a referee, you're going to jail for a long time for doing that. Your license will be suspended. So, Glovegate conspiracy to the trash. Because all you guys did is, instead of making Deontay Wilder bigger, you diminished Deontay Wilder. You made Deontay Wilder look so fragile, that he needed this army of people coming to YouTube, making videos about Glovegate, making videos about race. Oh, they allowed it because Fury is white and Wilder is black. But the last time I checked, it is Wilder that walked away with a favor in the first fight in America, with American referees, with American judges. A fight that he should have never even gotten a draw. They gave him a draw. And this time around, his opponent, who pretty much beat him for 10 rounds in the first fight, said, you know what? It's not going to happen this time. I'm coming out. I'm knocking this bum out. And he did. Not in 2 rounds, but he did. So you can stop all of the stupid excuses of Glovegate, of racism, of yada, 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 all that junk. Put it aside. Let's keep boxing as what it is. Boxing. Not as a pillow where you can deposit your tears at night. Let's get boxing pure. Let's keep it like that. To be honest with you, we don't need those types of excuses. Yeah, I get it. A lot of you made those videos because it was profitable. But do you really want to sell lies to your subscribers? Right? Do you want to just make a video and carry on something that you yourself had doubts about, that you yourself have very little evidence of, but you know it's bringing views? And because it's bringing views, it's going to bring money. But wait a minute, you're not even sure that it's true, but you're still going to do it. To me, that's not something that runs with me. I can't never do that. That's why I stayed away from it until I gathered all the evidence, till I saw all the videos. And then I said, number one, these people don't know what they're talking about. Number two, these people are here to make money and to make subscribers. Number three, they've never been inside a locker room. They've never wrapped a hand. They've never dealt with commissioners. They've never dealt with choosing the gloves. And I have. They never did. That's why I stayed away from it till the very last minute. And guess what? They still not done with it. They're going to come out with more. Because it's profitable. Not because it's true. It's profitable. Now, I don't care if that gets me in legal trouble. I'm like water. Like Bruce Lee, I'm like water. You put me into a pot, I become the pot. You put me in a teapot, I become the teapot. Be water, my friend. Guys, I think that's about it for me, man. You guys are pretty quiet tonight. Like I said, I wasn't expecting a lot of people to come because I did not schedule this for a very long time. But the few of you that came, I appreciate you. The brother got to sleep. I've been up since 3 in the morning, and I'm probably going to be up again about 3 in the morning. And I need some rest. That's been it for now. It's been fun, really. Next time, just let your mouth loose. Don't feel shy. Ask questions. Ask questions, and I'll answer if I have an answer. And next time we'll see what we talk about. Like I said, there's very little subject matter to talk about right now. And I don't really want to involve anything else other than boxing in this channel. I'll probably do something with UFC, though, because it's still a contact sport. So we'll see. Raw Boxing TV, I'd like to ask you to subscribe, like this video, activate the notification bell. I'm out.